We are taught to treat the past like a neatly bound textbook, where every single date is settled and human progress marches forward in a straight, predictable line. But the actual historical record is dangerously fragmented. Look closely enough, and you find physical artifacts that directly contradict modern science and sociology. Today, we open 10 specific case files of unsolved enigmas that defy logic, physics, and linguistics. Solving these mysteries is about exposing the gaps in our understanding of what humanity is actually capable of. Take the Voynich manuscript. It's an impenetrable book, written in an unknown language and filled with bizarre botanical illustrations. Carbon dating places it in the early 15th century, yet every cryptographer, linguist, and AI model has failed to decode a single sentence. In 1587, over 100 English settlers established a colony on Roanoke Island. Years later, they were entirely gone. There were no bodies and no signs of a struggle. The entire settlement was deserted, save for a single word carved into a wooden post: Croatoan. The Antikythera mechanism is a 2,000-year-old astronomical computer built by ancient Greeks, capable of tracking celestial positions and eclipses with exact precision. According to everything we know about antiquity, this level of mechanical engineering should not have existed for another 1,000 years. In 1518, hundreds of citizens in Strasbourg began dancing in the streets and didn't stop. They danced without music until they collapsed from strokes and exhaustion, driven to death by an unexplained mass psychosis. These cases show how easily whole languages, colonies, and advanced technologies can slip entirely out of rational understanding, leaving modern science helpless to explain them. The anomalies scale up to civilization-level impossibilities. Look at the Great Pyramid of Giza. This diagram shows the Great Pyramid's exact alignment with true north. It forces us to explain how a society without iron tools, pulleys, or wheels moved millions of massive stone blocks, arranging them with mathematical precision. In Peru, the Nazca lines present a similar problem of scale. These massive geoglyphs depict intricate animals and geometric shapes etched directly into the earth. Because of their size, these lines can only be properly viewed from the sky, yet the Nazca culture created this art centuries before human flight was even conceived. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon remain the only wonder of the ancient world without any trace of physical, excavated archaeological proof. Around 1200 BCE, established Bronze Age empires across the Mediterranean suffered sudden, catastrophic collapses. The culprits were a mysterious confederation of naval raiders known as the Sea Peoples. They took down heavy military powers, shattered the known world, and then vanished back into the ocean. In 1947, ships received a distress call from the Dutch freighter SS Orang Maiden. When rescuers boarded, they found the entire crew dead, their faces frozen in pure terror, with absolutely no physical injuries. Before investigators could tow the ship back to port to figure out what happened, the vessel spontaneously exploded and sank. The Orang Maiden proves that even in an era of global radio and shipping, we are vulnerable to the same sudden erasures that wiped the Sea Peoples from the record. Technological progress has not narrowed these gaps in our history. It has only changed the scale of what we can lose. All of these enigmas set the stage for one final contradiction: the mystery of who actually reached the Americas first. For generations, schools taught the narrative that Christopher Columbus was the first explorer to bridge the ocean. That timeline was eventually moved back to accommodate physical evidence of Norse settlements, making Viking ships the accepted limit of pre-Columbian travel. This map highlights connecting data lines between ancient Asian markers and South American agricultural zones. It reveals DNA links and shared practices that point to transoceanic contact across the Pacific, long before either the Vikings or Columbus set sail. If these transoceanic crossings occurred millennia before the arrival of the Norse, it means our models for ancient navigation and the isolation of early civilizations are built on a faulty foundation. The past is an active, open investigation. These enigmas show that what we call history is often just the small fraction of events we can currently verify. I'm curious which of these cases challenges your perspective the most. Let me know in the comments and subscribe as we continue to look for what's missing from the record.